Well, I feel as tired as that picture looked. Hi, everybody. My name is Haseeb Budhani. I am with Rafi. I'm the CEO there. Thank you for making time to hear me out. So today what I'm going to talk about is something that Peter already set the stage for, infrastructure that is very critical for all the things that Peter talked about. And most importantly, on top of that, how do we make money? How do we create value? So what I'll do is I'll talk through 3 case studies, and then we look at what we learned as we sold to customers globally who are building GPU environments, yeah? AI environments. There's a large telco in Canada who aspires to be a sovereign AI cloud provider. One of the things that this cloud provider decided to do on day one was to not just offer GPUs as a service. So in the world right now, we hear about companies like CoreWeave, Nebius, et cetera. And we find that many organizations presently today running GPU clouds or enterprises who are deploying AI infrastructure, the focus is very much on just providing a GPU. And the majority of the times, because all they do is provide just a GPU, for example, the consumption of these platforms, the usage of these platforms is not what they expect it to be. The average usage of AI infrastructure in the world right now, by the way, is 23%, only 23%. Expensive, very hard to find. You deploy it, and you don't use it. Why? Well, because when this market started, all that most of the companies focused on was providing infrastructure without providing anything on top of the infrastructure. And the result of that was that developers did not have a great experience, they did not use the infrastructure. So this telco decided, we will do something different. Well, what they did was they said, well, we're going to deliver generative AI models as a service. So in Turkey, for example, there are many organizations, ETIA, for example, KKB, who are investing in building models that are regional, that are available in the country for people to use. There should be a way to deliver these models to developers as a service, and they have. We'll deliver tooling for developers, AI workbenches, so that they can start developing applications, and we'll make sure the platform is enterprise-grade. Compared to a CoreWeave or anybody of that nature that you may know of, this company is generating 80% margins on their investment, where the rest of the world, when they sell just GPUs, they make 20%, 25% margins. This company is generating 80% margins. So that's Canada, all the way. Another company. So this company, in Australia, regional cloud provider, similar idea. Hey, we're not going to be just another GPU provider. We're going to focus on being the most cost-effective model provider in APAC. And they have. They provide AI factories so that, again, developers are able to move fast, build amazing things, and generate value for the region that this company operates in. And this is a trend. And I'll leave it. I'll call out one other example: Turkey. So a company here, by the way, this is KKB. You see their logo on the sponsor list there, CloudX. A partner of ours, a great partner of ours, they have come to the same conclusion in Turkey. If all we do in the country is build data centers, buy expensive infrastructure, and provide GPUs as a service, nothing will happen. There has to be an experience that we deliver that developers are happy with. And if we can do that, as KKB is recognizing, we have an alternative to the hyperscaler offerings. So I picked 3 companies. So these are, of course, our friends at CloudX. In the middle, TELUS in Canada, Firmus in Australia. So I picked 3, by the way, just so I could give you a cross-section of the world. All of my customers are learning the exact same lesson globally. Doesn't matter where. Australia, Singapore, Middle East, North America, doesn't matter. Exactly the same lesson. As we invest in AI infrastructure, if all we focus on as operators, let's talk about operators first, then we'll talk about the enterprise. As operators of this infrastructure, If all we focus on is providing just GPUs, we're not going to make any money. And people aren't. We have to find a way to deliver value on top, as our friends here have learned already. And Kakabe will be presenting later today. I recommend you listen to their presentation. They'll talk about this as well. And the same thing applies to enterprises. As an enterprise, right now, the only real option, if you're building AI use cases, is go to the public cloud. By the way, there's a website called gpulist.ai. Many of you may be familiar with this. It's a marketplace. You can go there, and you can rent GPUs. If you go today, this morning, on gpulist.ai, and if, let's say, you want to rent NVIDIA H100s, if you rent 1,000 of them, 500 of them, some number, you will pay $1.50 per hour. $1.50 per hour. But if you go to AWS, and you sign up to consume DeepSeek R1 Distilled, which is a model, open source model, that runs on H100. You will pay $8 an hour. So you can rent the GPU for $1.50. You go to Amazon, you're going to pay $8. Where's the rest of the money? Where's the $6.50? It's the software. It's the developer experience. Developers would rather pay more money, way more money, 4.5x more, 5x more, if we give them the right experience. I want to go to a portal, I want to press a button, I want to consume, I want to do my job. Don't make me think about anything else. But if you make me think about things other than that, I will pay you nothing. I will pay you $1.50, and then nobody will make money. And this is something that we see every enterprise I talk to. By the way, I spend a lot of time on the road. This just last 6 days, I've been in 6 different cities. So I spend a lot of time talking to a lot of companies. This is consistent across the world, including Turkey. There are developers in this country who are developing amazing software. They're not using infrastructure in the country. They should, but they're not, because the experience is not good. I like Amazon Bedrock. I like Google Vertex. Why can't I have Vertex here? You can. Kakabe is doing it. Others are doing it. And you should try these platforms out. They're amazing, actually. They're very, very good platforms. This fact, the fact that just providing GPUs, IaaS, right, infrastructure as a service, this is not new information. The providers have known this forever. In fact, so this is not even a new report. This is from 2023. This report says that the revenue generated by the hyperscalers from infrastructure as a service is less than 20%. If the hyperscalers know that real money is made on top of the infrastructure, SaaS, platform as a service, et cetera, why are we not doing the same thing? Why are we doing something different? Let's learn the lesson from them. They have 15 years of experience with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of developers of their own and tens of millions of developers who use their platforms. They know. They know. SaaS, PaaS, this is where the value is. And if we as operators who are building this infrastructure or enterprises who are investing in this infrastructure, if we don't learn this lesson now, if we attempt to learn this lesson by doing, we're going to waste a lot of money. But more importantly, we will waste time, and we'll be left behind. Like every country, I'm from Pakistan, same thing. Even in Pakistan, as I talk to providers in the region, I'm telling them the same thing. I live in the US, same thing, same exact thing everywhere. Let's not make the same mistakes that were made 15 years ago. Let's learn from the masters. Let's learn from AWS. Let's learn from Google. Let's learn from Azure, Microsoft Azure. Focus on PaaS, platform as a service. Focus on SaaS. If we do this, you will see amazing things happen. Doesn't matter what region of the world. So KPMG, there's a report out recently that says infrastructure in Turkey is going to grow by 4x. What's amazing right now in the world is that people are spending lots of money building data centers. I've visited many of them. It's shocking to see. Liquid-cooled data centers are very amazing to see if you have seen them. So much investment is happening all over the world. Infrastructure, capacity, power, Like recently I met a company, I'll give you a great story. We met a company who's building a GPU cloud which is distributed across trash, garbage, burning facilities. Because when you burn garbage, you generate power. So they decided to harness the power of burning garbage to build AI data centers. Amazing. Amazing. So much investment is going on. But I'm telling you this investment will go to zero if we don't solve the developer experience. Doesn't matter how much money you put in. If you don't do what Amazon has done, if you don't do what Azure has done, if you don't do what Google has done, which is think and obsess over these people who will actually produce value, nothing will happen. And this is my worry. This is what I worry about all day long, and this is what I tell my friends and partners all day long. Let's really think about what is most important and focus there. If we do, we're all going to make money. We're all going to generate value. So what's the path forward? The path forward is Mr. Huang, Jensen Huang at NVIDIA talks about this notion of AI factories. And when I first heard him talk about it, I didn't understand what he meant. Now I do. I really understand what he means. A factory that generates a product thinks about the entire experience, all the way to when I get the box at home, how do I open it? By the way, that's how it works, right? If I get some consumer product, when I get it at home, somebody's thinking about, when I open this box, what is the experience? They think about end-to-end. What's my supply chain? What's my production line look like? How do I ship this? How do people receive it? What do they do with it when I receive it? We have to think like that. The same thing applies. Selling an agentic application on a website is great, but how do people use it? How do people consume it? Where does the data get to, where it gets to, et cetera, et cetera? We're building factories, and we're helping other people build factories. And when you internalize that idea, it took me a while to do the same. Now that I have internalized the idea that there are factories being built, I understand the problem. I understand what I need to do for my business, and I hope you will understand what you need to do for your business as well. The use cases have to be available out of the box. So I mentioned the company TELUS earlier. This company has so much clarity on their customers. TELUS sells to healthcare organizations who use their telco infrastructure for low latency, high performance connectivity. They understand their customer, so when they sell use cases, they understand that they're solving for a doctor who is operating. They understand that they're solving for a nurse who's going to decide in 5 seconds, what dose do I give you? And their agents have to understand this too. They understand the use case. Similarly, with our friends at Kakao, they understand their customer. They know that their customer is a financial services organization. They understand the governance that is needed, and Peter talked about that earlier. They understand the price sensitivity. They understand their customer. It's really, really important to understand the customer and deliver ready use cases that people can use out of the box. And I've said this 50 times already. We have to obsess over the developer experience. If the developers are not happy, nothing happens. So you can purchase whatever you want. I will tell you, many times in IT when we sell product, we think about decision makers, right? We say the decision maker is the CIO. The decision maker is not the CIO anymore. They sign the check, absolutely, and we love our CIOs. But the developers are the most important decision maker. You can buy whatever you want. They won't use it. Investment goes to zero. In your evaluation cycles, please make sure that the people who will use these products are part of the process that evaluates the solution. And if they don't like it, don't buy it. Just don't waste your money. They will not use it anyway. And last one, you have to do more with the infrastructure we have. It's very expensive, this infrastructure. It's very expensive. And even when you have it, getting the next set of GPUs, it just takes time. It won't happen tomorrow. It'll take weeks and weeks and weeks, and then deploying it takes weeks and weeks and weeks. It takes time. We have to find a way to do more with the infrastructure we have. Self-service consumption is the most important thing for everybody in the world right now. I've said the words obsession over developer experience, et cetera. End of the day, it boils down to self-service consumption of applications in a multi-tenant way. If you cannot do these three things, self-service consumption of applications, use cases, in a multi-tenant way, you're not a cloud. By the way, this is my definition of a cloud. My definition of a cloud is self-service consumption of applications in a multi-tenant way. If you cannot do that, you can call yourself whatever you want. You're not a cloud. So there are many companies in the world right now who have the label cloud on their names. They're not operating as clouds. If you're not a cloud, you will not have consumption. Whether you're an enterprise or an operator, doesn't matter. If you want to be considered a cloud by the people that matter, the developers. If you want to be considered by them to be clouds that they will consume and spend money on, you must do those three things. And I'll repeat them again. Self-service consumption of AI applications in a multi-tenant way. Must do all three things. And what does that mean to the developer? What does that mean for the revolution? It must be access that I can get immediately. I should be able to go to your portal, internal, in the company or outside. If I cannot press a button and get compute and an app, I'm not going to use it. I don't care. Consistently, I get this from every developer I talk to. If the experience, if I have to talk to somebody, if I have to file a ticket, if I have to call somebody, not going to use this. I will use Amazon. I'm happy with Amazon. And they will waste your money. They will waste your money because they will spend $8 an hour on a model where you could have spent $2 an hour. Or I don't know what KKB charges, maybe $4 an hour. I don't know. Right? Empower the developer, right? They have to be part of this process. They must be part of the selection process, the implementation process, the operations process. The world is very different now. In fact, when we as Rafe, when we do POCs with customers, when I'm talking to the senior person on the other side, I ask them for two things. Show me the user story. Write down for me how you believe your developers will consume the platform. If you cannot explain to me how you think your developers will use this platform, this will not work out. This project will fail. This project will fail. I force my customer to upfront do extra work. Write down the user story. Tell me what kind of developers. OK, I have a Java developer, I have a chatbot developer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now write down for me, how will they get access to infrastructure? How will they get access to models? Your idea, your thoughts. And then we will work together to make sure your developers give feedback on the user story, and then we will implement. Till we have this, till you have a developer in the process with me, with my team, I don't want to waste my time. And you should not waste your time either. Make them part of the process. And then finally, if you do all these things, if you deliver the right experience, start using regional cloud providers. There are many options now popping up close to you, not just the hyperscalers. There are cost-effective, there are sovereign, that deliver the experience that the developers want. Use them. There are many now in Turkey. We work with them. It's actually amazing to see. So I've been coming to Turkey now. I've been coming to Turkey since I was a kid, but if I could, I would move here, by the way. I love Istanbul. But in the last 3 quarters, so early this year, I would meet companies, and they would say, I don't know what to do with GPUs. I hear about AI, but I don't know what to do with it. Now, Turkey is different. Every major enterprise is investing already. Every major enterprise. Every major service provider in this country is investing already. So if you're not, you're behind, by the way. And if you're not, start now. Because it is still early. The market is early. It's early everywhere. Everywhere. There's only so many open AIs, et cetera. Most of the world is early. So that's the conversation I had to share with you. I hope this was useful. I'll repeat my most important point. Please think about your developers. Make them happy. If you make them happy, they're going to generate revenue for you. I appreciate your time.